Okay, so our next match is the stretcher match.
Oh God.
With Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe, who is defending. Oh, sorry about that. What's his face? Because of the whole leg situation.
Oh, I forgot the wrestler's name. But there was
Zach
like a one.
Gowen.
There was a, huh?
Zach Gowen.
Yes. So the problem was is that Ricochet was like messing with him. He got in the ring. They had a fight. He stole his leg and got into a confrontation. So Tony decided to, instead of suspend or fire Ricochet, hey, let's give you a match with a guy who doesn't really wrestle anymore.
And it's also missing a leg. I'm surprised that he didn't like come back with like some replacement leg or something. But no, he came over there and
Yeah. So Ricochet had that match with him, and of course, shenanigans. And
that wouldn't have happened if that one dude had an automail leg. He should have consulted Winry to get an automail leg, and that was Ricochet could not just pull that out. It's on there. But anyways,
Since when in the year 2025 thought, who would really help this storyline? Zach fucking Gowen. Like, in what universe does anyone give two shits about Zach Gowen? At this rate, I'm surprised they didn't book a match with like John Moxley versus I don't know, John Moxley versus Takeshita, and they're fighting for the honor of Disco Inferno. Like, who gives a shit? At this point, does anyone truly give a fuck about Zach Gowen? Because I didn't care about him back when Brock Lesnar beat his ass. I didn't care about him then. Now I really don't care about him.
You remember for a while there was like some random indie wrestler that was like flipping pizzas mid-match.
Oh, I love him.
I'm surprised he's not in there somewhere in the main event or triple threat or something.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, at the point of it is like, it goes back to that thing I'm always saying, make me care. I don't give a shit about Zach Gowen. You don't need him to tell this story. You could just have Ricochet cheating repeatedly to win, and Mark Briscoe going, hey, let me tell you, I'm going to whoop your butt 6 ways from Sunday, and I'm going to make you gurgle chicken, like, or whatever the fuck Mark says. Half the time I don't really pay attention.
Diversifying his portfolio.
Half the time I don't really pay attention to what Mark says. I do love Mark, but sometimes his rants are hilarious. Like, if you ever find the clip, watch the clip where he was the Ring of Honor tag team champ and he was doing the weather. It was the funniest shit. You ever get a chance? He talks about getting struck by lightning. It was the funniest shit. Anyway, I like this match because it reminded me a lot of Briscoe style. Reminded me a lot of like Cactus Jack back in WCW days. Like, he was really doing like the kind of floor mat, like boom. And also it was really cool for him to do the Sabu spot. That was really cool.
He did. He did do it. That's pretty cool.
I'm really irritated that they seem to not know what the hell to do with Ricochet, and considering like he's like talking about like, I'm taking seriously here. I'm like, is that why every time you're on TV someone just slaps your bald ass head? That's being taken seriously? Really?
But he's bald.
I'm like, but so is Mark. Like, Mark's bald too. I'm like,
but see, Stack usually bleeds, but Ricochet, I don't know. I wish I could slap him upside the head. I'd have a whole lot of fun with that.
It's like that joke my friend said. He's like, Ricochet in 2010. Hey, man, this guy's one of the greatest high flyers in the world. Ricochet in 2025. Isn't that guy dating Samantha? So, yeah.
So here's the notes here.
Oh yeah, a few little notes here. Oh, and let's see. Wow, we took quite a few notes.
Yeah, a lot of shit happened. Let's kind of get through.
Yeah. Okay. So, I called this. We both agree. We called this the concussion match.
Oh yeah.
So let's see. Oh, there was this one spot where Ricochet tried to do the shooting star press, but he missed completely and landed right on the stretcher.
Yeah. That was like, I don't know who's supposed to land that thing.
Yeah, it looks very, very painful. Mark took out a table, but then Ricochet put it back, and the audience actually booed when he did that. And I'm like, oh, whatever. we don't need a table all the time. You know what I mean? Let's see. He took out a bucket of cleaning product and just Mark did, and then sprayed Ricochet's head and tried to clean it, and then swung. And then I forgot how it went, but the bucket got swung to his face or something. And then Mark did, like I said, and Mark Briscoe did the Sabu thing, of course. And then Mark got sprayed in his eyes from whatever the cleaner was.
Lemon pledge.
Lemon pledge, okay. Mr. Clean. No, it should have been Mr. Clean. Briscoe was bleeding, and then Ricochet slammed his head repeatedly into the stretcher, after the little cushion part is gone. And then he hit Ricochet in the face with a crutch, and then used the fire extinguisher on him. Then Ricochet pulled out scissors and then gouged Mark in the head. And then when Ricochet did use scissors, Mark ended up taking them away and he was going to hit him with it, but then Ricochet pulled out another pair of scissors from wherever.
Like the ambulance.
Oh, that's right. He didn't pull him out of. Oh, never mind. And then he hit Mark with those, and then he landed. Then he used a low blow. He hit him with the spirit gun, and then threw Mark into the ambulance, closed the door, and won the match. You know how I feel about these kind of matches. I don't like bloody matches, so this is not my kind of match. I never like bloody matches, so.
I enjoyed the matches.
Are okay if they're used. I think bloody matches are good if they're used in like a limited capacity. But the problem is AEW has made the audience desensitized by the blood. So at this point, you're kind of like one-upping, like what more can you do?
Pretty much, and that's another thing. That's why I don't like the bloody matches. I mean, yeah, every once in a while I could see, but they do it so much and so often. I never really thought one way or the other about bloody matches, but watching AEW stuff has made me really just hate them.
Yeah.
And that's why I never watched stuff like ECW, because I knew they did a lot of the hardcore stuff, so I was never really fully into that. And that's what I'd be expecting. But
on a random side note, I also forgot to mention, there was something that kind of related to this. So apparently, according to inside sources, TNA is actually stopping they're not going to do like super bloody matches anymore. They had one last one, which I got to see live. I got to see a couple TNA shows live recently, and they had a Steve Macklin versus Eric Young in a dog collar match, and it was so crazy. Like, it was just like them beating the crap out of each other, like covered in blood. But they said that pretty much everyone said that's the final like blood match they're ever going to do in TNA. So like it was kind of like one last hurrah.
Hopefully
because
they don't sitting in the front row for that.
No, I was actually, you know what's funny? I was actually pretty close to the front row, I'm not gonna lie. But it was still really cool. In fact, his cronies got blood on their shirt. So it was like they got beat up and they were sneaking by me. And like I could see all the blood that was like Eric Young went, yeah, on the shirt. And you could see it on them. Anyway, apparently the reason why is because both WWE and TNA, now that they're expanding and getting more views and more sponsors and merchandise, the sponsors really don't want to see that shit. They really don't. I mean, that's why Domino's cut ties with AEW because of the famous pizza cutter spot. And it's just like, yeah, because no one should see that stuff, that hardcore style.
Pizza cutter.
Like it.
Well, I had a picture of a Domino's commercial.
Yeah, you're nice, homemade. It's so funny.
Awkward timing.
It was like that right there. I was waiting for it to go black and go dun, 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 dun. It was like the perfectly timed moment, or like a Jerry Seinfeld. Anyway, but what apparently they're kind of scaling back, doing blood, hardcore, like crazy matches, because the truth of it is, and if you like that style, don't talk to me, but that's not important. The important thing is that that's not marketable. It's not marketable to a normal audience, a casuals, because everyone goes, oh, you're just a bunch of casuals. Yeah. I'm like, you were a casual once, idiot. You didn't start watching wrestling back in the 80s and going, well, this isn't as good as Harley Race's match in 1968. Like, no, you were like, yay, Hulk Hogan, yay. Like, because we were all dumb at one point, and like some of these kids are watching this wrestling and they're going, yay. But then when they're like, Daddy, why has he got glass in his cheek? And it's like, it's all for fun, son. Well, okay, I'm gonna take this fishbowl and smack it over my brother's head. Like it's to that level. I'm like, because you got to see it from the perspective of. I'm not saying like to be a prude about like that stuff. Like, you know, if you want to do the whole promiscuous sex thing, that's fine, but you got to have limitations to it. Same thing with the blood. You can do it sometimes. If you scale it back when you bring it out, it's more surprise. It's more investing. But if every pay-per-view you do, everyone's covered in blood, no one gives a shit.
I mean, honestly, the most shocking thing are the Moxley matches, whatever. There is no blood. It's like, whoa, that's
Yeah, and there's some spots where there really should have been and there wasn't. So we'll get to that when we get to it.
Watching a
And
horror movie, it's like watching a horror movie and the like of all the characters, the blonde skank survives. You're like, wait, what? You're like, you survived and the nerdy virgin died? I think someone messed up with this script. Like,
hey, Johnny, what did you think of this crazy match?
I thought it was crazy and it was kind of goofy in a way because Ricochet is in the match and always seems to be kind of like the running joke of the match. But surprisingly, he won the match and he put Mark Briscoe in that ambulance, which that was kind of funny. But I think they overdid the ambulance. Like whenever the ambulance gets starts appearing back in the ring, the ambulance make the ambulance sound, and it's like it's a little too carried away. It's like there were times that I was thinking like, what in the Jerry Springer it's going on here? That's what the match kind of felt like, and I think it has more to do with Ricochet because he brings some of that goofy factor into it. Like he's just a really goofy man, in my opinion.
Yes. No lie there. All right, so the winner of this match
then,
was Ricochet.
Yeah. Oh, I just wanted to say that I'm also not a fan of all the blood. Like it gets really gory after a while, and it's kind of gross because then the ring's filled with blood, and then I feel bad for the mains people. They have to be cleaning that shit up all the time after the matches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just you.
I did like the shenanigans and stuff. I guess my only complaint was I really wanted Ricochet to lose because on one side he's annoying, so it's good that he loses. But on the other side, because Briscoe lately is just, I guess, getting booked to lose all the time.
I think the thing with Briscoe here, Mark, is that I think he just likes just being in the ring and just doing stuff and I think at this point he's just having fun. He don't care if he wins or loses.
Yeah, but when it comes
when it comes to people,
sometimes,
Yeah, except for that, like if he's like in a group thing and his whole group went like that $400,000 thing where he talk about he's gonna use his part of the winnings to diversify his portfolio.
Yeah. But I mean, he has to win once in a while because he was part of a super famous tag team and stuff like that, and you can't have someone that's like known for like awesome matches and blah 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 blah. I mean, he's gonna lose all the time. It's like someone bragging about like I don't know how awesome Mick Foley was back in the day. He's awesome, but then you're just booking him to lose.
Oh, I see. I agree with you on that one, but it's just,
Yeah.
but that has to be the reason maybe why he's being booked to lose so much because. I got nothing really. But as mentioned, Ricochet did win this match, and everybody went for Briscoe except for DJF. Here's our contrarian. Oh, and something else that we forgot to mention. Mark's hair, had a little.
Oh, he had a mohawk hairstyle this time for some reason.
And he did kind of start off the match as the dominant one.
Yeah.